like we had thought about doing like a Frigo Mint Love Island watch party, and then we wanted to sponsor it, and then just put
That would have been
screens.
sick. That is cool. I thought you were talking about like like they call them Casa Amor rejects, like people that were in one part of the show that like they were only on there for like 5 minutes because they didn't get chosen or whatever, and then they get dumped from the island, and then they go around on these like tours. Like there's a couple of the people from Love Island this season that live in Miami, so they're like popping up at these like random like clubs, and they're like, they're like the main character of the night, and they're just like doing the most. I just think that's funny, like trying to capitalize off their 5 minutes.
Would you host a Love Island watch party?
A watch party, I totally would do that.
But it can only be females, right? Or like, would you filter in, or how would it go?
I mean, listen, the only prerequisite would have to be that you just love Love Island and you are a stan. That, I don't care who you are, what gender, does not matter to me.
Now you've got my mind racing in the sense of like, I would actually organize that. If
Really?
you let me sponsor it, I'd be like, yeah, like we would do that. On top of, I have no idea when this show runs, but I'm still down
Every
for that.
summer.
It's the summer.
It's like June, July.
Okay,
Beginning middle of June to beginning middle of July.
When I had introduced you to a couple people, like, hey, I'm gonna interview this girl, they were like, ask her about her experiences with dating in Miami, just relationship stuff, her girlfriends. I pulled thoughts from women that were actually authentic, that people had said.
Okay.
And I'll read those to you after.
Okay.
But I want your genuine consensus on like what it is to be a female in Miami dating and what it's like.
Okay.
So give me the 101.
Okay, so I will say I'm not somebody that like really dates like I'm not going to put myself out there as much. I've been on the dating apps for a little while, and I actually met this guy that I dated for like 4 months on a dating app. But generally speaking, I feel like a lot of the men in Miami have a certain not expectation, but they assume that all the women are a certain way.
Okay.
For example, that like, they're really into money, or they're really into, you can like kind of buy her attention like in that way. And so for me personally, I feel like because I'm just not really that type, like I don't really care how much money a guy has, especially because I make more than enough on my own. Like I don't really, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't really need it. That's really interesting. It's again that a lot of men assume that, oh, I have this sports car, so I think that you're going to want to talk to me. And it's like, if you don't have any substance or depth, I'm actually not really going to, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, there's a superficiality to it that I find off-putting sometimes. But I also feel like, there's great guys out there too. It just depends on what you attract, which is kind of what you are at the same time too, So that would be, I guess,
I had met a girl one time, and you are someone who, you do well for yourself, right? And I met this girl, she was like, I just bought my first home. And I was like, that's huge. And she was like, well, and I was like, what do you mean, well? She was like, well, I posted it. And she said that she thinks that men aren't down to see her like succeeding that way. Like it's almost like a competition.
Oh, okay.
Like a power struggle.
Yes.
Do you think that's a thing, or like?
Oh, 100%. I've actually had personal experience with that. Yeah.
Okay. So this is actually a thing. Okay.
Yes. So I was actually talking about this to one of my girlfriends recently, but when you're a woman that makes a lot of money, or you're a woman that is very established in her career, or you're generally just doing better than average financially, that automatically by default like makes the pool of men that you could be with a lot smaller, because if they're not either at your level or outperforming you, there is inevitably going to be competition, right? Because think about the role of a man, masculine energy versus like the feminine. Masculine energy is about providing. It's about, making the money and, providing for the house and providing for whatever. So if a woman is able to be in her masculine energy in a way that outperforms the man's masculine energy, of course she's going to feel competitive. That's actually natural, and I think that that's like normal. But that just means that as a woman, again, if you're making good money, you can't be with a guy that's making less than you, because that's just not going to work. Because he's always going to resent you for doing his job better than he does. Does that make sense?
It does. When you put it that way, you speak very plainly for someone who's like on camera. I'll be honest with you.
I think that's honestly what makes me good at socials, because I don't try to like make it sound a certain way.
You don't fluff any of this shit. You're like, hey, I think this is how it goes down. And I'll be frank with you. You don't meet too many women who are willing to get on camera and be like, no, this is how I feel about these topics. Even if they're not PC, that's how it goes. And I'm like, okay. But yeah, man, you just stuck it right there. Okay.
I mean, do men usually disagree with that? I'm curious.
I don't know actually, because when she told me that this is a young girl who lives in Texas,
Okay.
and she's actually your same age, and she bought her home, and
Good
she
for
mentioned
her.
this to me. Yeah, she's killing it. She's doing great, and she knows who she is. So she's gonna see this. She's like, okay, cool, man.
Good for you, girl.
Oh, yeah, but yeah, when she did that, she did notice I went to a buddy's wedding and I'm
Yeah.
in Texas, and she's like, yeah, but I noticed that all my dating apps, everything like that, just all of it just started slowing down. And I was like, oh, maybe you're just overthinking.
Yeah.
Maybe this is just like,
Yeah.
and now I'm hearing you say it. I'm like, oh shit, there's some validation here.
It's no, it really is such a real thing. And again, it makes sense. Like it like logically makes sense, because as a man, like how would you feel if you were dating a girl that makes way more money than you and is bought a house when you haven't bought a house yet? Like, are you really going to be able to see her? And like there's nothing about that dynamic that triggers your masculine instinct to protect her and like look after her, because she's already, like she's already doing that for herself.
Yeah.
So it just like throws off the balance of a relationship to begin with when that's what it is. Is that to say that a successful woman can't find no, she can find the right guy, but he just has to be doing better than her, in my opinion. Financially, career-wise, how established he is. Otherwise, it's just not going to work.
Okay. Well, I actually agree. Now at this point, I'm like, now, one time you hear it, it's with you hear it a second time, like, okay, that's definitely something there,
Yeah.
Now, I will notice this as well. Once you live in Miami, does it kind of take away from other vacations that you go on?
I don't go on vacations as often, actually. No, not at all.
So you're like, you gave up on the vacation?
No, literally, because I live in a vacation spot.
Oh
like,
my God.
What more do I need?
That's my mom was asking. She's like, do you ever feel like flying back here, going here, going here? I'm like, I actually don't.
Not
just because
really.
like that's down the street from me, that's over there, and I don't
Literally,
know.
you're always able to scratch the itch without having to leave. So
Yeah.
that's definitely a big bonus.
Now that I got kind of like the rundown of like your thoughts on dating and kind of like the culture of Miami, I want to read you kind of like the common threads
Yes.
of women and what they think in Miami. There we go. Okay, there's just 5.
Okay.
There's just 5. I'll read them out to you, and you can say if you can relate or if like they're just completely off the wall.
Okay.
All right. Number 1, there are no real relationships in Miami. Only situationships. Valid or played out?
Played out.
Okay.
Very played out, because I mean, first of all, the wording of that alone, that's an absolute. There's no way that all of them are really like that. But I also think there is a lot of genuine relationships in Miami. And I think if that's something that you want to have, you just have to become the kind of person that's at that level. So
Yeah.
that means not entertaining situationship type of guys, because they will make themselves known to you from the very beginning. I'm not looking for anything. As soon as a guy says that, gotta go. We're not on the same page.
That's the line. Just not really looking.
Just not. Yeah, like, oh, I don't want to. Whatever. Any kind of bullshit a situationship type of guy is gonna give you. Like, you have to be able to cut it off from that moment. I think the issue happens when, like, you wait for him to change, or you wait for him to once he sees how I am, he's gonna want a relationship with me. No, girl. If he doesn't want a relationship, he doesn't want one. Keep walking.
So to kill a situationship, you just take the air right out.
Take the air right out. You're
Okay.
the only. Yeah, as a woman, like, if you're entertaining it,
Yeah.
that means you want it to a certain extent. If you really don't want it, you wouldn't entertain it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Number 2, dating apps have ruined the dating world.
Disagree.
Disagree? Okay.
Because again, if you look at it, there's a lot of happy marriages, long-lasting marriages that they met through dating apps. It's what you make of it,
Yeah.
If you are the kind of person, well, and actually, I'm curious, like, in what way has it ruined dating?
I actually do have a comment on this one because I was going to add it on there, but it's actually number 3 a little bit too. But I feel as if sometimes, and I'm a victim of this. I'm not even going to try to act like I like when people try to act like they're these perfect human beings. Cause I'm
Yeah.
the guy who's like, nope, I fucked up a lot,
Yep.
So I'll be the first one to say, as a man, you get this feeling of like, yo, man, this girl is amazing. She is the end all, whatever. She's great in all these different ways. But then you have that devil in the shoulder. It's like, well, what else is out there? And then the dating apps are like endless. So it's like, if she's great, then what else is out there? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And I think it's just a human instinct. Like, for instance, this is a good way to put this, and I don't want to compare, but like if I had you like endless choices of something, right? Sooner or later, you're going to find something that's great, but you have an endless choice of like apps and pics and everything else. You shouldn't put women in that bucket.
Right.
Just instinctively as a human being, you're going to go, well, what else am I missing out on?
Yeah.
And women think the same way. I know I've
Yeah.
had these conversations because in New York, there was a girl who I was actually friends with, and she talked about the roster culture of New York City. which is you're dating 6 guys at a time.
Which is crazy.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
And then there's also women you'll meet that are like, I can go on a date every day of the week. Like they'll go to a dinner and the very next night they're going to another dinner all the way throughout the week.
Yeah, that's so